But I didn't know how to get the help that I needed because I didn't know exactly what I needed. My name is Yokasta, and I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic, and I moved to the United States when I was 15 years old.
Tell me how you got from where you started, both in life, but also in your spiritual life, to where you are now.
My mother, she was born and raised in the Catholic Church, so my brother and I received the sacraments of initiation, but there was never like a Catholic culture, home, or identity. And so eventually I just decided to leave the church. And that was when I was about 11 years old. Years later, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. I had a lot of panic attacks. I would have a lot of nightmares. I was scared of everything. I had suicidal thoughts, and I just felt really hopeless. I knew for sure that I needed more than pills and therapy. One night, I remember just weeping and just crying out to God, if you really exist and you really love me, then please help me. And I reached out to someone, a family member, and I just asked them to pray for me because I was in a really bad place. And so, yeah, this person did pray for me. And the next day, I woke up with a different perspective. Now I know that God exists, and this was pretty fast, but I want to have a personal relationship with Him. I want to experience Him, not just believe in Him. And at this point, I had a very negative view of the church. So then my mother, at some point, invited me to a Catholic retreat. And I remember thinking, there's no way I'm not going to that retreat. But then I thought, okay, I'm searching for truth. I have to stay open. So I went. And it was a huge disappointment.
Why was it a disappointment?
I saw everyone having a great time, and I really didn't experience anything. I think I thought that you had to be very emotional, feel things, and that was what faith was about. But now I know that it's not. So I didn't experience anything, and I went back home really sad, really disappointed. But then one day, just suddenly, I felt this urge to go to confession. Something that I couldn't explain, I still can't explain. It was like overnight. One day I was completely against going to confession, and then the next day I had to go. So I went to confession, and then after that first confession, my life just changed. It changed completely. Right after that confession, I was convinced that the church was the true church, and I just couldn't believe it. Like, God's grace is amazing.
You said you became convinced that this was the true church, that the Catholic Church was true. How does that conviction differ from the feelings that you had that you had kind of based your religious experiences off of?
This was much deeper. It gave me true peace. Yeah, because sometimes you can have an emotional high and like really feel something, but at the same time, that just lasts a couple hours maybe. But this was something that lasted. It gave me purpose. I think I learned that feelings are just that. They're feelings, they change, But peace, true joy, faith, hope, especially hope, those are the things that really make a difference. I know that I am gonna suffer more, but at the same time, as long as I have the faith, as long as I have holy friendships and the sacraments, I know that at the end of the day, it'll all be well. That's the main difference between then and now, that there is hope now. I live with hope.
The one thing I was struck with Yokasta's story was what she said about moving her eyes from the transitory to the eternal, about having the hope to stop looking at feelings, recognizing feelings for what they were. By focusing on the beauty of God, she's able to see her suffering and her feelings for what it is, something that may come and that may go. But in the end, she knows what lasts forever, and that is God. a God who wants a personal relationship with her, a God who expresses himself in the beauty of the world, a God who is eternal, as opposed to her feelings, which are transitory.